Good evening and welcome to ITV News. This is Wednesday night's calendar.
Thank you for joining us. Here are tonight's main stories.
Guilty of murder, Shiraz Ali was motivated by jealousy and fueled by drink and drugs when he took the lives of Bryony Goworth and her 3 children in Bradford.
Ali and his accomplice Calum Sunderland broke into the family's home in the dead of night to start a catastrophic fire. Today, Bryony's family spoke of their heartbreak.
We will love them for the rest of our lives. We will miss them in every breath. Our heart will never be whole again. They will be forever young, forever ours, forever missed beyond words.
The full story is coming up. Also on calendar tonight.
In Yusuf's name, the family of a boy who died after being sent home from Rotherham Hospital meet the Health Secretary to call for change.
Waterworks Yorkshire's hosepipe ban finally comes to an end after 5 months.
And stay with us because waiting in the wings.
Hello, and I'll be on in a bit telling you about my tour and all the profits going to charity.
Our top story tonight. A man has been found guilty of murdering a mother and her 3 young children in a bungled revenge attack at their home in Bradford.
Shiraz Ali was fuelled by drink and drugs when he started a devastating fire, killing Bryony Goworth and her children, who were aged between just 22 months and 9 years old.
A court heard Ali's intended target was Bryony's sister, who escaped the fire. Ali and an accomplice have both today been convicted over the killings. Michael Billington has been following proceedings in Doncaster. We can join him live now. And Michael, this is such a shocking case.
Yes, and in fact the judge said today that the evidence that we've heard here in Crown Court over the last 3 weeks was distressing beyond measure, particularly for Antonia Goworth, Bryony's sister, who had to come face to face with the ex-partner of 7 years who murdered 4 young members of her family. She said today that her sister, nephew and niece's futures had been stolen, but that the conviction of their killers finally meant that justice has been served. Bryony Goworth was, her family say, a beautiful woman and a loving mother to her 3 young children, Dennisty, Oscar and Aubrey. Shiraz Ali was her sister's jealous ex, fuelled by drink and drugs, seen here buying vodka just hours before the killing, who today was also found to be a quadruple murderer after setting a catastrophic fire at the family's home as the children slept in their beds.
We could speak of them for hours, for days, and still never capture all the love they brought into our lives. Their futures were stolen. The children will never grow up, never experience life in all the ways they deserve. And our Bee will never grow old with us, never watch her babies become who they were meant to be. We will love them for the rest of our lives. We will miss them in every breath. Our heart will never be whole again. They will be forever young, forever ours, forever missed beyond words. Thank you.
It was an act of revenge that reduced the house in Westbury Road in Bradford to a burnt-out shell in August last year. Under the mistaken belief that his ex, Antonia Goworth, had met another man, and because Bryony had encouraged the breakup, 3 days before the attack, Ali had messaged his former partner saying, "I know who caused all this in my life. They better start praying," adding, "I promise you one thing, they're going to regret it." In the hour leading up to the fire, Ali and his co-accused Calum Sunderland, a convicted arsonist, were driven to a petrol station where Sunderland bought 7 litres of fuel. They then drove to Bradford where CCTV and doorbell cameras in the street outside Bryony's home captured the pair wrecking their target. Shortly after 2 a.m, Sunderland retrieved the petrol from the car and, on the orders of Ali, smashed through the front door.
Chicken. Yeah. Chicken. No. Chicken window.
Inside, confronted by Antonia, Ali doused the place in fuel, and as she ran out in the hope of luring him away, he sparked a lighter, and the house burst into flames.
This poor woman was screaming. She were in and out of the garden. She were getting close to the house, but you could smell fuel, but it was like the house were hissing. So we were screaming for her to come away from the house. People were talking, saying it had been petrol bombed, it were going to blow. My heart just sank thinking, no, surely them babies are going to be okay. That's all I could think of, having my own children. Surely them babies are okay. And I could hear people like screaming, the baby, no, the baby. And I just sat here in complete and utter silence with, like, it was horrific. You can't even put into words, it was horrific.
Ali claimed he came here that night armed with a petrol can and a lighter in order to harm himself, to kill himself, and for Antonia to watch. The house fire, he said, was all an accident. I didn't go there to hurt Bryony or the kids. The jury, though, decided that was a lie and that instead, motivated by jealousy, he'd wanted to inflict maximum pain, exacting revenge without any care about who was in the house. Ali, who was himself pulled unconscious from the fire, was taken to hospital, where he lay in an induced coma for months before he was able to face justice.
Show me your hands now. What's your name? Callum. Right, listen, Callum, you're under arrest on suspicion of murder.
5 days later, Sunderland, who'd fled before the fire began, was arrested, found cowering and covered in cobwebs in the cellar of a house. Just half an hour before his arrest, he'd taken an overdose in a vain attempt on his life. Today he was convicted of 4 counts of manslaughter, while Ali was found guilty of murdering Bryony and her children and the attempted murder of Antonia.
I cannot imagine the terror that family went through. Our thoughts are now with the family who, despite their immense strength of character throughout this whole process, now have to face a lifetime of pain and suffering without their loved ones. And I just hope today's verdict brings them some small sense of closure.
For their part, the family today said that nothing will ever make this right. Nothing, they said, will ever fill the silence where their laughter should be. Well, throughout the trial here, Shiraz Ali has sat in a wheelchair with an oxygen tank strapped to the back and tubes in his nose. He still bears the scars of the fire he deliberately started that night. And now, as he faces life in prison, he will also finally bear responsibility for the brutal murders of Bryony Gowith and her 3 young children. He and Calum Sunderland will be sentenced next year.
Michael Billington live at Doncaster Crown Court for us this evening. Thank you. And you can see more on that story and the rest of the day's news over on our website. Just go to the usual address, itv.com/calendar.
Well, some more of the day's news now. And the family of a 5-year-old boy who died after he was sent home from hospital have met with the Health Secretary to discuss a damning report into his care. Yusuf Nazir died in 2022, 8 days after he was sent away from Rotherham's A&E with antibiotics for tonsillitis. An independent report published in July found that medics didn't listen to his mother's concerns about his condition and made 16 recommendations for improvements within the NHS. Fred Dimbleby reports.
They lost Yusuf when he was just 5 years old. They've campaigned for change ever since. In Westminster today, his mum and uncle took their case to the Health Secretary, arguing parents need more of a voice when it comes to their child's care.
Listen to parents' concerns. A parent will know their child more than anybody. If a child is unwell and seriously unwell, only a parent will be able to identify that.
Yusuf Nazir died in November 2022. After initially going to a GP with a sore throat, he was then taken to Rotherham Hospital, but was sent home with antibiotics. 2 days afterwards, his family called an ambulance and he was taken to Sheffield's Children's Hospital. It was there, days later, where he died. His family say if medics had acted more quickly, Yusuf would still be with them.
It was a very, very difficult time, Just if we was listened to, Yusuf would have still been here, and I wouldn't be here now. That's all we were asking for. We were just asking for the care that he needed, but we was just ignored all the way through.
Earlier this year, a report criticised the care Yusuf had received and said parental concerns were not addressed. It set out a number of recommendations which the family raised in their 2-hour meeting today.
I think it was a good, productive meeting. It was important for the family to meet with the Secretary of State for Health and Social Care He was very engaged. The most important thing that now these recommendations have been made, that they're implemented and followed through.
Some of the recommendations are already being rolled out, each a legacy, the family say, of their happy, bright child.
We've lost Yusuf, we're never ever going to get Yusuf back, but the most important thing is Yusuf is saving lots and lots of children's lives, he's saving lots of lives, he's already made big changes, things are already getting taken very seriously, and for us maybe Yusuf is never ever going to come back, but maybe Yusuf's been taken to save hundreds of lives.
A full inquest will be held into Yusuf's death in April next year. Until then, his family's fight continues.
Well, we can join Fred in Westminster now. And Fred, that inquest is due next year. What's been said by the hospitals who treated Yusuf?
Well, tonight we've had a statement from Rotherham NHS Foundation Trust. They say they have fully cooperated with both investigations into Yusuf's care and will fully cooperate with the coroner and provide all requested information for the inquest. Meanwhile, Sheffield Children's NHS Foundation Trust had previously said they will support the coroner's work in every way they can. Both trusts say their thoughts are with Yusuf's family. But that family was meant to spend just 1 hour today at the Department for Health and Social Care. They ended up spending more than double that. They felt they were listened to, but more than 3 years on from Yusuf's death, they are still seeking answers and they are still seeking change.
OK, Fred, thank you. Live in Westminster.
Police have named a man who died after his Range Rover went into the canal in Saltaire near Bradford. 74-year-old John Harkin lost his life when the car entered the water at Hurstmill Crescent on Sunday evening. His family say he was a keen sportsman who will be missed by them, his friends and the local community. They've also thanked the police officer who tried to rescue him.
Hosepipe restrictions across Yorkshire have been lifted today after 5 months. Yorkshire Water introduced the rules in July following the driest spring in more than 130 years. But with reservoirs now over 90% full, the available water resources are above average for this time of year. Yorkshire Water say they're grateful for the public's efforts to save water.
We've seen some significant changes in climate. You know, we had a drought in 2022, we've had a drought in 2025. Droughts were normally a 1 in 25 year occurrence. So, you know, it just shows that the climate is changing so much. But, you know, our resources are at a level where we've lifted the hosepipe restrictions, and looking forwards, we're confident that people shouldn't have to worry through 2026.
CCTV footage has been released showing a car crashing into a tree in a drink driving incident in Bolsover. The video shows the moment the red Seat Ibiza left station in early hours of Sunday morning. The driver, a 28-year-old man, fled the scene, leaving his seriously injured passenger behind. He was later arrested and found to be nearly double the legal drink-drive limit.
Now do stay watching, because still to come tonight, the one and only Peter Kay joins us in the studio to tell us all about his very special tour.
And after a brighter start this morning, we did have a few showers with our sunny spells, which of course created a few rainbows. I'll have more of your photos and the forecast a little later on.
Before that, a survivor of grooming gangs from Huddersfield has told ITV Calendar she's been given reassurances by the new chair of a national inquiry that historic evidence will not be deleted.
Yes, Carly, which is not her real name, was among a group of survivors to meet the newly appointed chair, Baroness Anne Longfield, this morning. Well, our reporter Amelia Beckett has joined us now. And Amelia, over the last few weeks, this inquiry has been thrown into chaos, and there have been concerns from survivors that police and social services might delete some files. Did Carly feel reassured over this?
Yeah, she certainly felt reassured about that promise that files wouldn't be deleted, and says it's something she's been pushing for the last 6 weeks, because so many survivors' experience include not being believed or trusted for so many years. But in terms of the more general reassurances, she still has some concerns, particularly, as you say, because of how it's panned out over the past few weeks, with 2 potential chairs quitting, and with Baroness Longfield being announced yesterday without survivor consultation. She's especially disappointed with that, because they were given assurances that they would be at the heart of this inquiry, and it's something she says she'll be watching closely going forward. Her words in this clip have been voiced by an actor.
So my understanding is over the next 3 months they'll lay out the terms of reference for the inquiry, and then work out how they'll liaise with survivors and victims going forward, which might be another application process. I really hope that it's trauma-informed with victims and survivors at the heart, but I think the proof will have to be in the pudding.
Well, in a letter to survivors from the inquiry panel, they promised that this inquiry won't repeat the mistakes of the past and that it will be independent, transparent and focused on the truth and accountability. They also made clear that they will scrutinise the actions and inactions of public bodies, which, you know, is very important to survivors like Carly. She says she's now hoping that when they say no stone will go unturned, they really mean it.
OK, Amelia, thank you very much. Now then, they say that Christmas is a time for giving, but for some that doesn't mean handing over presents as much as offering their time.
Charities like the Samaritans in Sheffield often provide vital support to people facing isolation over the festive season, and they're among the organisations calling for volunteers to help spread some much needed cheer, as Cara Digby reports.
Samaritans, can I help you?
Christmas is always a vital time for the Samaritans in Sheffield. Contactable all year round, Christmas Day will be no different, with volunteers ready at the end of the phone to provide a listening ear.
If things go well, then that's great for everyone, but sometimes things don't go quite so well, and then if there's problems, then they might call us. And there's a lot of lonely people at Christmas who would like to be with their family and friends, but are left on their own. So that's possibly the most common thing that people would be calling us about at Christmas.
It's not just Christmas Day where volunteers are needed. Throughout December, the Royal Voluntary Service is hosting festive spreads across the country, providing a hot meal and companionship. Volunteering is known to be good for our own personal growth and well-being, but most importantly, it's about the positive impact it has on others. What does it mean to you that volunteers dedicate their time to put on events like this?
Well, we wouldn't have anywhere to go, and it's a nice afternoon out on a Thursday afternoon. It means a lot to us, really, for them to be able to do that.
I look forward to it every year. It's really, really nice, and they really do put on a good dinner and a good show.
There you go. There you go. As one of the UK's largest volunteering organisations, the RVS works to connect charities with as many willing hands as possible.
We have launched a platform called GoVo. Royal Voluntary Service launched that earlier this year, and that's the perfect place to find volunteering opportunities for all sorts of charities. There's ones available all year round, but there's lots of available ones over Christmas as well. On Christmas Day, to volunteer, you could support with supportive telephone calls, deliver hampers. Just before Christmas, look at delivering presents, support with concerts. There's a million different things that just help with people day to day.
Whether it's for 1 hour or 1 day, the hope is that at Christmas, people will consider giving the gift of their time. Cara Digby, ITV News.
And happy Christmas to them all, of course. Now then, last night's football, and both Sheffield clubs had to settle for a draw in their respective championship fixtures. The Blades took the lead at home to Norwich through Danny Ings, but an own goal meant their 4-game winning run has come to an end. Whereas Wednesday looked to be heading for only their second win of the season at Watford before the home side equalised with the last kick of the game.
Meanwhile, there wasn't much to shout about in League One. Barnsley, Doncaster and Mansfield all lost, whereas Huddersfield could only draw at Northampton. Leo Castledine heading in for his 8th goal of the season.
Right, time for the weather now, and Kerry is here with us, looking very nice in your blue dress.
Thank you so much, and there was a bit more of the blue stuff in the sky as well today.
Yeah, it's been much better.
Yeah, a few showers this morning, and we've had quite a few over the Yorkshire Dales, but this was the Arts Tower in Sheffield around lunchtime. A big thank you to Steve. A mixture of sunshine and showers, of course, rainbows, but with all of that rain that we had with Storm Bram, Magdale Weir waterfall in Honley is in full flow, so we're starting to see, even a day after the rainfall, of course, those impacts of the rain rainfall, and this is, of course, in York, the River Ouse, very swollen indeed. Just quick recap of Storm Bram then for us, because our highest gust didn't come in until around 9 o'clock last night. Loftus in North Yorkshire, 71 miles an hour, Emily Moor, 63, and this Environment Agency location in the Yorkshire Dales, 55.4 millimetres. So a lot of rain, very windy, and of course warm, like we were talking as well. Now, I don't know if you saw this morning.
No.
Not a UFO. Quite a few of you have seen it. Some asking what it is, some knowing what it is. It's actually the Starlink satellite train from, of course, the independent communications company SpaceX. They basically launch between 20 and 60 satellites at one go. And within 5 days of that, you can sometimes see it, of course, as they're heading into deeper orbits. And it's when the ground is dark at night and we've got the sun rising that they basically become lit up and look like, well, something very exciting going on in space. I missed it, of course.
Yes, as did I.
It was just around sunrise.
Quite the sight.
Yeah. Fabulous. So keep them coming. Weather photos at ITV.com.
We'll see you shortly.
You will.
Thank you. Now then, after being out of the spotlight for several years, comedian Peter Kay is back on the road with his final big tour.
He'll be bringing his show to Leeds and Sheffield next year and will be donating the profits to 12 cancer charities as he goes.
Well, earlier Peter popped in to see us and we arranged for him to meet one of his childhood TV heroes.
Peter, welcome to Calendar. It's great to see you here at ITV Yorkshire and we've brought a special friend along, someone that you have admired for many years.
Look, everybody, it's Dusty Bin. I came in and Ian said, I've got a surprise for you. Look what he's dug out. He's dug this out of storage. This was in where was it?
Well, he lives in the ITV archive next door, and you're a big fan of old telly, aren't you?
Of course I am. And did you used to think that you'd win a bin?
Well,
when I was a kid, I thought that was a prize. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah,
I thought you actually. I used to think you won that. But you couldn't win Dusty Bin. There's only one. But I thought if you got the booby prize and you didn't get Dusty Bin, did you get a bin? Did you?
I think you literally got a bin.
Did you?
You did. Ted Rogers gave you a bin.
You'd be gutted, wouldn't you? You're absolutely gutted.
What about the 3, 2, 1? Can you do that?
No, I can't. Hang on.
Yeah.
So I weren't being rude. I was trying to do it. Can you do it?
No, I'm not even going to try, actually, just in case.
Have a go.
Just in case.
Ted had a gift there. Go on, Ian, have a go. You must be able to do it.
Was that all right?
It was good, but it weren't as quick as Ted Rogers.
Enough, was it?
He
good,
was
but not
very
quite
quick,
right.
Ted.
Not quite right.
People, and it's funny that people used to be obsessed with that.
They were.
Just doing that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Look at that.
I know.
Yeah.
But we should get on to
you anyway.
We should get on to Peter talking about why you've come to see us, why they've let you across the border.
I've not been on Calendar since 1998. Which camera am I on now? Where am I?
Camera 4.
1998. Camera 4. 1998 was the last time I was here. And what's funny is the building outside has not changed at all. Looks exactly very posh inside, but outside is exactly as it was. I'm surprised. We're having a discussion about that.
We were. Are you quite happy being over this side of the Pennines?
It makes no difference. That's all hundreds of years ago, Lancashire and Yorkshire. It doesn't make any odds. It's lovely. And I honestly go down just as well here as I do at home. They're very supportive. They're very good. I've always played Leeds. I've always played Sheffield. And there's never been any problems whatsoever. And York.
It's going to be the 10th time, isn't it, for Leeds Arena? And you've said that you really enjoy that.
And I've done 10 at Sheffield already. It's incredible.
And you enjoy it as a venue, Leeds Arena.
I do, because it's stacked. You know what I mean? Like they're all in front of you, tiered. And at Sheffield, it just goes back. See, interesting point. These arenas were developed that way because of sporting events. You see, basketball and ice hockey, you see. But the new ones are kind of more tiered because they're more like entertainment venues, you see. So they're not for sporting, really. But I love the fact. Leeds Opera House is the same, obviously, because that's an old thing. But anything where they're all in front of you, it's fantastic. You know what I mean? You're playing to like an old type of theatre. And you don't get that much in arenas. But they are. I have been very, very lucky with this tour.
Well, tell us about this tour and why it's so
there's a
important
segue.
that people come along and support it.
Well, you see, now, I don't know if people know, but I'm doing my final shows of this tour next year, and all the money, all the profits are going to cancer charities, which I have a list here because I can't remember them. And if you can see, I've put massive font because I can't see. You've got them, on screen
there.
Oh, you've got them on screen.
We wanted to make sure that we had them there, that everyone
Shall
could
I read
see
them out?
Go on. Yes, please do.
Let's do one each.
All right, let's do it.
Children with cancer.
Teenage Cancer Trust.
Kidney Cancer UK.
Sorry, Blood Cancer UK.
Bowel Cancer UK.
Prostate Cancer UK.
DKMS.
Ovarian Cancer Action.
Pancreatic Cancer UK.
AnthonyNolan.org.
The Brain Tumour Trust.
And Breast Cancer UK.
Lovely.
So many there, so important that you're getting that message out and raising that
Unfortunately,
awareness.
everybody knows somebody who's had that on that list, one of those cancers. I just thought it was a lovely way of ending the tour. It's just, the show's up and running. It's just a really nice, positive thing. I put them on sale last week. They're all selling really well. But, you know, we're struggling a little bit. We're at 65% in Leeds and Sheffield. And I thought, I'll come on and try and ask everybody if they could just support. You don't even have to like me. Just go for a night out.
Yeah, night out in Leeds or Sheffield.
Night out to support the charities. So if you would think about it, especially, hey, it's the ideal Christmas gift.
Ah, there you go. Last minute present.
Dusty knows.
Good thinking.
So, yeah, that's why I've come on to just ask if people would find it in their hearts to support these charities. And it's the final shows and they're on sale now. And there you go. See ya. I'm only joking.
Well,
I'm joking.
Time is up, but Peter, thank you so much and good luck with it all.
You're all right. Happy Christmas and lovely to meet you.
Lovely to meet you too.
Take care.
Have a good Christmas.
Happy Christmas, everybody.
Put him down.
Sorry about that. It was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun.
It
A
was
great
good
guy,
fun.
actually. We really enjoyed having him here in the Calendar studio.
We did. And now here's Kerry with the weather.
Today's forecast: seafood and sugar cube towns. TUI sponsors ITV Yorkshire Weather.
Yes, it was definitely the recipe for rainbows today. Some sunnier spells to start the day, but a few showers pushing in from the west, heading eastwards. But for most of us, and certainly this morning, a good dose of sunshine. It stays dry overnight, bright and breezy for many of us for daylight hours tomorrow. But we do have a spell of rain coming through after dark, lingering first thing on Friday, but again clearing from the west as the day moves on. So very mobile weather at the moment, low pressure in charge, feeding in weather fronts from the west, often quite windy and blustery, but in between these systems we are seeing drier and clearer spells. So as we head through into this evening and overnight tonight, mostly dry. Cloud will come and go. The winds are certainly lighter than the last couple of days, but there's still a keen breeze overnight tonight, so it's mixing the cloud up and preventing a frost, so rural lows perhaps hovering around 5 Celsius by the time we reach dawn. And for many of us, tomorrow will be another dry and bright day. 8:13 and 3:45 are your sun times. So a little bit more cloud perhaps filling in for the morning and again into the afternoon, but we are expecting a dry day, a bright day, some decent sunny spells, still a bit breezy, highs of 9 or 10 though, that's just a couple of degrees above where we'd expect for the time of year. After dark, this weather front moves through. It does tend to ease off though as it pushes eastwards, so we are expecting an improvement as we head into Friday to drier and brighter conditions, and actually for Friday afternoon a good dose of sunshine with highs again just above the average. Winds will be lighter on Friday but picking up into the weekend. Still at this stage, Saturday looks like the best day of the two.
TUI sponsors ITV Yorkshire Weather.
There you go. It's unsettled, but there's quite a bit of blue in there as well.
Yeah, something to look forward to, a bit of brightness.
Yeah, it makes a difference, doesn't
it? Does make a big difference at the moment, doesn't it?
Brilliant. Yeah, well, thank you very much, Kerry. That's it from us. Thanks to you for watching. Thanks to Peter Kay for coming in. That was great, wasn't it? And we'll see you tomorrow night at 6, the whole team. See you then. Good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.